Hello, and welcome to the OriginMD channel. This is the deck I'll be using in the Steam Showdown tournament. It's a Rakdos deck that relies on creatures, vehicles, and buffs to deliver damage to the opponent's doorstep. This deck can smash through the ranks and got me to 40 without any problems this season. I've wanted to construct something other than Mardu vehicles, and have stopped at this variant that is not a bona fide copy of the Pro Tour decks. The main plan is to inflict pain on the opponent. The secondary plan is to inflict pain in a little slower, Rakdos style way. The Inventor's Apprentice is our 1-drop that can become a 2-3 with an artifact in play. Excellent card to start the game with, and 8 artifacts in the deck ensure that the chances of it getting buffed are not too low. Built to Smash is a buff that grants the aforementioned artifact +3/+3 in trample. It applies only to attacking creatures, but this is the main point of this deck anyway. Try to wait out when your opponent taps out of his mana before casting it if possible. Titan Strength is an extra powerful card for its Scry effect, but after extensive testing, 6 buff cards proved to be too much, and 2 shock cards have been added in as additional damage effect and finishers. Asylum Visitor can be madnessed out from the Copter for 2 mana, and can also crew any vehicle and can sometimes allow us to draw cards. Speedway Fanatic is here for fast plays on turn 2 and gives haste to vehicles. It is also another tool for keeping the pressure up on the opponent after a board wipe. By the same token, Forerunner of Slaughter can grant himself or vehicles haste for 1 mana of any color, making it possible to deliver damage as fast as possible. Scrap His Cruncher is one of the most popular cards in Kaladesh and Aether Revolt Standard. Its main allure is that it costs 2 generic mana and it can resurface from the graveyard for only 2 mana, making it indispensable against control decks. Heart of Kiran is the Aether Revolt Sculptor that is a 4/4 flyer with vigilance. It also requires crew 3, but there are only 6 creatures in our deck that don't have the power to crew it. Its main problems are that we can only have one of them because it's a mythic rare. Smuggler's Copter is an all-star card that has dominated Kaladesh Pro Tour and has even been banned in Standard. It has evasion, any creature in the deck can crew it, and we can shuffle through our library and hand. What else can we ask for? If only there was no Fatal Push. But let's not get too excited, still a very strong card. PNLR provides a Thopter artifact and can buff artifacts for mana. Be aware that it's a legendary and there can be only one of them on the battlefield at the same time. Well-Fast Engineer is an interesting card. If you have a Heart of Kiran on turn 2 and play out the Engineer on turn 3, you can crew it and hit for 6, which is not bad at all. Naturally, this works well only with an artifact in play. The Ethosphere Harvester is a nice backup card, because it does provide lifelink and some sustainability. It can also be buffed for extra lifelink and can be used defensively against opponent's Copters. Unless Disintegration is our only unconditional removal that comes with an upside of dealing 3 damage to a player or a planeswalker if we control an artifact. Liliana the Last Hope is our backup plan against control decks that have a lot of mass removal. It can also shut down a lot of aggro strategies for the opponent, making it a potent and cheap threat in the deck. Kalitas is another powerhouse that provides some survivability with lifelink and can grow. It is also quite useful against other aggro decks that rely on having lots of small creatures. Chandra is the Fiery Priestess of Destruction in the deck. She can deal 2 damage with her +1 ability, provides ramp with a second +1 ability, can also deal with the troublesome 4 toughness creature upon hitting the board. Against control, her ultimate is our backup plan. Sky Sovereign is our finisher, which hopefully gets haste from one of our 6 creatures. Can be used to push through in case of a board stall or against high toughness blockers. The mana base is quite simple. We have 7 swamps, 8 mountains, 2 smoldering marshes, 2 dragon skull summits, and 3 Edda hubs. Ideally, we want to start our hand with 2 colors and have most lands come into play and tap to play as close to the curve as possible. Now that we have discussed the deck, let's play test it. Alright, this looks like a decent hand. Let's keep it. Our opponent is going to use the Volume Walls, he's gonna get a Swamp out, which is fine. Alright, we got ourselves Liliana, so we've got a turn 2 Speedway Fanatic into perhaps a turn 3 Forerunner of Slaughter that makes himself hasty. Might also go for a turn 3 Liliana if our opponent is on a control deck. So let's see if he has a Fatal Push for 1 Swamp. And if he is willing to use it. Yes, he does have a Fatal Push. So it seems to be a control deck. We have to watch out for counter spells. If he is going to put something out, then we'll be happy to get out Liliana. Alright, it's a Fevered Visions, so some sort of mill control deck here. Might be even something like a Right Justice has, so he can start dealing 2 damage to Liliana each turn. So I think at the moment I'm just going to hit him with 1 Forerunner of Slaughter since I have 2 and they're dispensable. Hit for 3. And now let's wait. All right. Jace enters the game, also Harness Lightning, so quite a lot of removal spell from our opponent. We do have another Forerunner of Slaughter though. And we can also use the Titan Strength here, so let's see. Yeah, I think this is fine. Just going to give him haste right now. See if he blocks with Jace. Doesn't block. Let's use the Titan Strength. Let's see, a Fast Engineer. Not 100% sure I want to see. I do have quite a lot of creatures here, and the only artifact we'll have is from PNLR. So let's put it on the bottom for now. We get our opponent down to 11. But we do take 2 damage from the Fevered Visions. Right, this is Kraken Scrounger. Let's see if he has additional removal for the Forerunner of Slaughter. Instead it's a Glimmer of Genius, so he's tapped out of mana. He does get to draw a bunch of cards. Also to scry and to use Jace to make him into a Planeswalker. Yep, so it does seem like somebody copied the Justice's deck. Let's see how it works out for him. So we can get out the Scrapy Scrounger and hit for 4 plus 3 for 7. So I think this is decent. Let's go ahead and realize this plan. We're going to hit our opponent. And he is now down to 4. We do take 2 damage though. Now, let's see if our opponent has a mass removal spell here, or a targeted removal for both of the creatures we have on the table. He can also activate his Wandering Fumarole for 4 mana, but this just might not be enough to help him. Jace uses his +1, 2 more turns until he can go for an emblem, draws another card. Alright, we got another PNLR. So we can get our PNLR out and we can make her hasty, her token hasty, the Forerunner of Slaughter, or we can go for a Speedway Fanatic here. And an Inventor's Apprentice, since we're going to draw a bunch of cards with the Favored Visions anyway. Let's go for this route when we're going to dump our hand. And of course, we're going to attack. Alright, he has an Unlicensed Disintegration without the artifact. He does take 3 damage though. So let's see if he does have a mass removal spell here somewhere. Otherwise, this might be it for our opponent. Alright, we actually have Shock, so I'm just going to use it to close out the game. Alright, opponent plays first. We only have 2 mana here, but let's try and keep this hand. Our opponent has a Goblin Glory Chaser. So we've got a choice now. Do we spend Shock on it? I think so, yes. Let's go ahead and play out a Mountain. And then we're just gonna skip to our opponent's turn. Let's see if he's going to put any buffs on the Goblin Glory Chaser when he attacks. He doesn't, so we're just gonna use Shock here. Let's see if he's going to play out any more creatures. Does have a Smuggler's Copter, but we do have the Heart of Kiran here, so, and we do have another Smuggler's Copter. Not too bad. I think I'd rather put out the Heart of Kiran because it can hit for a higher amount. It can also be crewed by Scrappy Scrounger or PNLR. Alright, Key to the City. Can make his creatures and vehicles unblockable by discarding the cards. So I think it's alright to go for the Scrappy Scrounger here. Let's go ahead and crew the Heart of Kiran. Get in for 4 damage. Right, he's going to discard a Mountain. And we hit for 4. He's going to draw 2 cards next turn. He's going to have a maximum amount of 2 mana that he can play out. Of course, any creature that he plays can crew the Copter. So let's see if he's going to attack us. He has an Aether Chaser. So he is going to crew the copter. Alright. This means that he is going to attack. Let's see if he shuffles through his hand. He does. He discards another mountain, but seems to have all the lands he needs. We got another mountain as well. So what we can do here is we can go for maximum amount of damage. We can go for the Forerunner of Slaughter and then use the Titan Strength on the Heart of Kirin here. So we'll hit for 10 this turn. Which is not too bad. Since our opponent is tapped out. Alright, Build to Smash I think is a decent card for us, since it does grant our Heart of Kirin trample. Our opponent plays out an Inventor's Apprentice. And he also crews the copter again. Alright, this is pretty risky considering the life totals. Let's see what exactly he has in mind. He's going to discard a card. Will it be some card with madness? Yes, it's going to be a Fiery Temper. Let's see what he's going to use it on. He's going to get rid of the Forerunner of Slaughter. Also has Titan Strength on the copter, so he does hit for 8. But I'm afraid this is not going to be enough to save our opponent. Alright. We're down to 9, sorry. We do have the Build to Smash. So I think since he does have a servo, I'm just going to crew with the Scrappy Scrounger. I don't really think he has anything that can deal with the Heart of Kirin, considering he has only 1 red mana. So I'm just going to use Build to Smash to seal the deal. Alright, good game. This looks decent. We can play the fast game, we can play the longer game. But of course, first we're just going to get our Inventor's Apprentice out. We also have 2 basic lands that allows our Smoldering Marsh to come into play untapped on turn 3. So overall I'd say we're in a decent situation. Our opponent plays out the Drowned Catacomb, which comes into play tapped, so I don't have to worry about something like a Fatal Push here. So we're just going to get in for 3 damage now. This also means that we can play out Liliana without any problems, because he doesn't have a counterspell. He does have Chase, but it seems to be some sort of control. We do get sort of mana flooded right now, because we have more than enough mana for any of the spells. It's just going to block the Inventor's Apprentice. So I guess I should have played out Liliana and done this first, but maybe he wouldn't have blocked. So getting rid of Jace is even better. Alright, our opponent has a Prized Amalgam. Interesting. We've got the big guy here now. So let's go ahead and use the Wealthfast Engineer, just cast him out. This means that we can crew the Sky Sovereign with the Speedway Fanatic right when it comes into play. We can attack on the same turn. Our Liliana is also racking up the counters here, getting closer to an emblem. So I really find it difficult to think of how our opponent is going to win this game. Alright, he has a Chandra. Let's see if he's going to get rid of the Wealthfast Engineer here, or if he's going to go for +2, deal some damage. Yes, he's going to get rid of the Wealthfast Engineer. However, we do have the Sky Sovereign that we can crew. That means that we can get rid of both the Chandra and the Prized Amalgam this turn. Let's screw it with haste. We attack our opponent and get rid of the Amalgam. That leaves our opponent at 9. Alright, our opponent agrees with us that it's sort of useless to struggle. He also plays out the Favored Visions. That is going to help us immensely with the additional card draw. Our Liliana is just one step away from her ultimate, but she won't have a chance to use it because we're going to crew the Sky Sovereign and use Build to Smash to help it overcome any obstacles. And this is game. I want to thank you for watching and see you in the next video.